Hi, bitch besties. It's your main bitch, Melli. Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to another episode of the Judgy Bitch Pod.
Hi, bitch besties. Welcome to a new episode. This is the hottest topic of the summer. And because it's in everybody's mouth right now, we have extra support today. We have an extra cat there. We have Peanut and Pixie here. Everybody might chime in at some point. But I'm most excited about my Molly being back. Welcome, Molly.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. What a summer.
What a summer. For me, it was a little different because I didn't watch it live this time. I waited to way too long to jump on the train and then I had to binge watch everything. How did it feel like for you going one by one every day?
I mean, okay, I'm obsessed with this format of television. And I just also have to say, if I don't care who you are, you have to admit that Love Island is a modern marvel of production because they crank these episodes out within like 2 to 3 days of filming them. And the music rights that they get, it's just like, just from a production standpoint and editing alone,
Yeah.
these people are working around the clock. Even the Ian Sterling, who's like the commentator guy,
Yeah.
he's up at 3 a.m. every single night recording the episode the night before it airs. And I'm just obsessed with it. I love that there's an episode almost every night. It just gives me consistency. There's something about when Love Island is on that like all is right in my world.
Yeah. I agree with you. I'm always impressed how they do it. And I think they do filming like during the day and then they edit for the very next day. I don't even think it's 2 or 3 days. I think it's like the next day.
Yeah, you're probably right. And you're definitely right because I participated in every vote this time. And you're voting and then they're voting people off like the next day.
Next day. Yeah, it's crazy. Who did you vote for? Oh no, let's get into that later. What's your thoughts on Ariana being Emmy nominated for her?
I mean, listen, that she is a WOMAN. Like every time she walked in, I was just like jaw on the floor.
Yes.
How she can be so hot and so commanding and somehow not like intimidate the women that are there.
Yeah.
Because she's such a girl's girl. Like she's so friendly with everybody and you just trust her immediately. I love that she got an Emmy. I feel like she really turned Love Island USA around. Like I didn't start watching USA until she started hosting.
Same. That's why I don't know how it was before. But compared to Australia and UK, I'm thinking, I mean, she's just the host kind of. Is that really Emmy worthy? And it's just a nomination. She hasn't won the Emmy quite yet. And I don't mean to be tearing her down. I absolutely love her and I applaud her. I'm so happy for her that she got nominated. But I'm really wondering if that job is worth an Emmy nomination. I'm sorry. I'm being bad.
I think you're probably right, though. I mean, but it's like in the perspective of how often we see her on our screens, if it was a once a week show and we saw her once a week, we might feel like we're at least seeing her a little bit more. But because it's almost every night, you only get to see her once a week, once out of every 5 episodes or something like that. So it is a really weird nomination to have. Definitely, like we were saying, I think the production, the editing, that deserves an Emmy. Not to say that Ariana doesn't. I'm obsessed with her.
Same.
But I like there's definitely some awards to go around outside of that.
That part, exactly what you just said. That's exactly what I mean. Like, it's not like she doesn't deserve it. She's amazing and she's doing a fantastic job in the way she handles it and what she says and how she said. Like, she's perfect for that role. But it's just the job itself. I'm questioning if that's Emmy worthy or if there's other people on the team, like you say, the editing team or the crew and all together. Here's
what I will say for her is in the same way that the show is like, they're kind of like flying by the seat of their pants. I know she has an earpiece that she is literally, she doesn't know if she's about to dump somebody from the island. She doesn't know who it is. She's hearing this and speaking it out. And she does, like, I think it is a talent to host in that way where
Yeah.
you don't even know what you're doing. You
Yeah.
have to have the right inflection and be able to take cues on the spot. So I mean, there's definitely some serious skill in that.
Agreed. And you know me and names, right? I'm so bad with names. I always wonder when I see the little earbud in her ear, I always wonder if I were in her shoes, they would yelling at me, Melly, this is Kenzie. Melly, this is Corbin.
Yeah, I need the whole backstory again, please.
Right? I think I would need somebody chatting the entire time and walking me through it. Let's get into the season. Who was your favorite? Who did you really enjoy watching this season?
Okay, when it started out, I think I immediately fell in love with Kada because she's just gorgeous and I loved her demeanor. I felt like she was very no bullshit. I really did warm up to Kenzie. I originally just thought she was kind of ditzy. She has kind of this like Olivia Newton-John look
Yeah.
going on, which I thought was great. But I ended up just really feeling for her, and she was kind of my underdog because I think she got a lot of flack for just how she moved in the villa. And the whole point of the show is that you're supposed to explore. Like, you, come on.
Yeah.
She was playing the game. I have to say, by the end of the season, I was so sick of these like committed relationships and how they were talking about people being lustful. And there was some things I didn't agree with about this group of people
Yeah.
and just how they were looking at this
Yeah.
process. As far as guys go, like Bryce, I definitely warmed up to. I mean, in the beginning, I was a KC fan, like
What?
things change over time, you change. And
Yeah.
of course, walking away, I'm just in love with Carl.
Aw, yeah, he's a sweetheart. Aw, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Who didn't you like?
I mean, okay, well, and even thinking about Melanie, I feel like I went really up and down with her too because I thought she was really
Yeah.
awesome, gorgeous, and then when she kind of freaked out, and then her going back and forth with Sincere,
Yeah.
I kind of lost love for her for a while. I also, of course, love Trinity and Bryce and Anaya. Anaya I thought was kind of boring for a while. Like I had so many ups and downs. That's
Yeah.
why I love the show so much. Cause like
Yeah.
you are going to hate somebody one week and love
Loving
them the
the next.
next.
Yeah.
And there's like no way to really predict it. So if people can hold your attention
Yeah.
and hold that, like your interest, then props to them.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, the Soul I felt for, but I kind of like, I just never grew a soft spot for her really,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I can wait
Yeah.
to get into all of this with you. But let me ask you one more question before we go Islander by Islander, maybe. Who was the craziest dumping for you? Which had you floored?
Hmm. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think because I feel like I don't really know if any of them surprised me in this
Interesting.
season.
Yeah.
In that way, it felt pretty predictable
Yeah.
almost every time.
Interesting. All right, let's jump into Islander, and I can tell you the craziest dumping for me was Sean because he was
Oh,
from the get-go my favorite, and I couldn't believe that he was the first one who was dumped. I'm like, no, I think he would have been a great Islander.
you know why you think that? Because you are a mature adult person and you actually are looking for mature adult people to win this thing.
Oh my God, my mom is laughing right now. Thank you for saying that. But I was actually wondering this. Like, I mean, these people, they're young, right? Especially Caleb. He was like in his early 20s. I am, 25 plus. I was wondering at what point should I stop making Judgy Bitch episodes about young people. Like, at what point does it get morbid of me being an old woman judging those young folks?
Listen, they are putting themselves up as public figures. Like, it's totally free game. And I have had to remind myself a lot of times in watching this, Molly, you are a person of age, and like they don't have the communication skills that we've learned in the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were their age.
Yeah. But I must say I'm very impressed with them because I was definitely much more naive and less articulated than they are in their age, I must say,
I think it's also just growing up in social media like they
Yeah.
have. They're
Mhm.
so aware of how they're perceived
Yeah.
that we never had to be, because
Yeah.
we weren't being filmed or at threat of being filmed and put on TikTok all the time when we were their age.
Yeah.
Like we could do a lot. I was like, yeah, I did a lot more shady stuff that would not have been
Yeah.
considered okay on
Yeah.
this show.
That's a very good point you have there. And they also learn a lot of emotional intelligence from other
Yeah.
people on social media, which we didn't have. And maybe that's why I just feel like I was such an idiot kid compared to those people.
I
But you have a good point there. But you know what? I also realized like how the generations change. You know what I will never get behind is the girls calling each other bro. I was like, oh, that hurts my ears. Stop saying that.
It's probably because I have like 2 little boys, but I am used to that probably.
And you're also younger than me, to be fair. We used to say dude all the time back in the day. Nobody says that anymore either. But, I find dude is different than bro. I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I agree.
I really loved John. And I thought, he was such a great guy. He moved to Pennsylvania because he got somebody pregnant and he wanted to be closer to her and her family and the kid, of course. I was like, oh my God, I love Sean. And then he was dumped and I was like, no.
I don't remember another male Islander having a kid before. I think that was actually pretty groundbreaking. We've seen Huda, of course, last season had
Yeah.
a child. We've seen some moms, but I don't know if we've seen many dads. So that I agree. I that made me really fond of him, that he
Yeah.
and I was like, why is nobody seeing that this is like husband material? I
Yeah.
expected that like Bea was like, no, I don't want to get involved in somebody's life who has a kid. But again, me as an older person now, I'm like, dads are hot.
Right? That's how I felt. But I can understand that in their 20s, and what's the female version of fuckboys? They just don't want to get into it.
I get that. I get that. And okay, I'm actually remembering now, the most surprising dumping for me was Gabe.
Oh, yes.
Gabrielle, like that actually, I thought that was a pretty low blow for them to get rid of him.
He was one of the hottest, I must say. Like
He was so, and he had a connection, and they knew they had to know that those guys were going to keep the girl who had a connection over the other girls. That was the most surprising one for me.
Interesting. And we're going to get to him, but let's talk about Caleb first. You know what? When I first saw him, I thought he was straight out of an 80s movies. He could have been in 16 Candles the way he looks, He's so cute. Like, he's a cute little 80s kid.
He is so cute. I found him pretty boring until I found his social media and saw how goofy he was. And I was really disappointed with that whole situation, because America and the other Islanders were just pushing Caleb and Kenzie together.
Yeah.
Kenzie still liked Corbin, and that was authentic. But like, just because somebody is somebody's type doesn't mean it's going to click.
Right.
And I think that his experience got sold short because everybody was pushing him to Kenzie, and really they were just not a match.
I agree with you. I felt so bad for him. I felt like he was getting the short end of the stick over and over again. And as the youngest, and he seemed like such a shy, sweet Southern boy, my heart was really aching for him because I wasn't sure if he knows how to handle this or if this will fuck him up for the rest of his life,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, get him out of there.
I don't know if you saw it since you were watching a little bit later, but did you see all the people like shipping him and Melanie?
No.
I think people just wanted Melanie to be saved so badly. And like he would have been a great knight in shining armor for her.
Yeah.
And people more for him too. I would have loved to see that if he could have come in and just been like, Melanie, no, I'll be everything for you.
Peanut. Stop it. Fire alarm went off somewhere.
Oh, no.
I don't see Melanie and Caleb, to be honest. I don't know. They are not a match in my eyes. But I must say, my algorithm did me a very great favors this entire time, as I was so behind. I did not get any Love Island content whatsoever. And even when I watched the finale the day after it aired, I did not know who had won. My algorithm saved me.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like I am actually so curious because even like a group text that I have with my sisters-in-law about the show, like we didn't even discuss the finale. I feel this way with Love Island a lot, where I really hate the first one or two episodes, and
Yeah.
I really hate the last two episodes.
Yeah.
Like, just don't. I'm here for the messy middle, and the stuff that happens on either end, like it just is either too awkward and cringy at the beginning
Yeah.
or predictable and I'm over it at the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah, I felt the same way. Maybe it was because I was binging it, but in the middle somewhere, it got so boring. And, I wish how on podcasts you can listen to 1.5 speed. I wish I could have done that watching it.
100%. I totally wish I could have done that with the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. Let's talk about Jen for a second. What was your
Okay.
thoughts about her?
Man, I really was not a huge Jen fan. Again, I kind of felt for her, and I think in her life, she is the hottest girl she knows.
Yeah.
And that is all fine and good. But when she got in this room full of other hot people, it was like, why is nobody looking at me? And I think that was really hard for her.
Yeah.
Uh, by the end of her time there, I had really warmed up to her a bit because I actually liked that she stood up for herself with Kenzie. I feel like she was really growing on me, but she was just kind of a slow burn. I wasn't into it in the beginning.
I 100% agree with you. And Kenzie said it too, that the people in the island were actually not into blondes. So blondes coming in there thinking they're Pamela Anderson and everybody's like, who are you?
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I feel the same way. And then her connection with Gal, I didn't see it. Like I see that he is, the current like visual type with the mustache, and I guess young kids are into that stuff. For me, I was like, is he gay or is he bi? Is he straight? Like, what's his story? Like, I couldn't tell.
He was so bland to me, and yeah, I didn't like Gal at all.
No, me neither. I didn't get nice.
Also, like, no matter what way you say his name, what were his parents thinking?
Is that his actual name or is it short for something?
That's a good question. I don't actually know, but for a while I was like, maybe it's Gaul, but even Gaul is like not a nice word. Why would you name your son that? That's so weird.
Sounds like gallbladder. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't, maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong too, having the accent and everything,
No,
but yeah, I agree with you. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Mean parent.
And you said it earlier that Sol, another hard to pronounce name, although I guess that's Spanish, so maybe it's just me not speaking Spanish. That she wasn't your cup of tea very much. And you know how sometimes when you connect people with people from your real life that you know and you don't like, that's her for me. With the pixie cut, my sister was the biggest narcissist on the planet and it gives me hell all the time. And I'm not going to say I hate her, but I do. She reminds me so much of her. So I was already biased going into it, seeing her. I was like, no, I don't like her.
I thought, okay, so I feel like the Soul, again, it's like she's used to turning heads and she's a very like beautiful, curvy woman. And
Yes.
I think what really surprised me about her was just her level of insecurity. Now, during the like getting pie challenge, I do think they went really hard on her and
Yeah.
that wasn't, but she never let that go. And I felt like she just kept complaining and complaining. She just came out so whiny to me. I
Yeah.
was like, she must be a Pisces. Like, what is your like zodiac sign? Because like the waterworks, just you've got to have some more confidence.
Yeah. And I agree and I disagree with you over the pie challenge. Like I can see that they went maybe a little hard, but also what is sore loser if you can take it? Like she can dish out, but she can take anything.
Agree. You're right. Like I do think that she took it really, really hard, and that made me feel for her in that moment. But the fact that she just kept doubling down on like nobody
Yeah.
likes me was annoying.
Yeah. And that must be hard if you feel this way. I want to give her a little bit of slack. And I did envy her confidence rocking that pixie cut. Um, but yeah, she was not my cup of tea. I don't know. She annoyed me and I couldn't hear the
That,
whiny and yeah, I feel
yeah,
like you.
maybe that is what was so confusing to me is that like yeah, as a woman, you see these women with pixie cuts and you immediately think, wow, the confidence you have to trust
Yeah.
your full structure to pull off a pixie cut is like amazing. And then for her to not be a very secure, confident person was just like, wait, you're putting off an image that isn't who you are. And that is jarring to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Oh, another tough one. Corbin.
Melanie. Corbin, I didn't mind Corbin. I like he was a dog, but I mean he was really hot. I thought it was hilarious all of the one-liners and all of the Corbin GPT, like Corbin is a robot stuff.
Yeah.
Seeing him, eventually with Parmita was just like, oh my gosh, this is two narcissists in a room. It's about to explode with perfection.
Yeah.
I didn't need that, but I didn't hate Corbin. Like nothing he did surprised me.
Right. Total
Yeah.
fuckboy energy. Yeah, not surprising that he cannot commit. And at first I thought when he started having the connection with Parmita, I was like, oh, another one bites the dust. But then I learned that she is like him, just a female version. So I was like, perfect match. Do you think it's going to last though?
No.
No, same.
No. Especially after some of the stuff she has said on social media, like how she's dated rappers and dated all these famous people. Immediate ick.
Yeah, absolutely. And she already got the ick from me when she kept saying and emphasizing, we're good looking people. Like, shut the fuck up. Everybody in there is good looking, Like, you're not better looking than Anaya.
Yeah.
Sorry, pronouncing it wrong. Anaya.
Truly, maybe unpopular opinion, but I actually really liked Corbin and Kenzie together because I felt like if somebody isn't your type, but you can't deny the attraction you feel, that is stronger to me than somebody being your type. Like I actually really was rooting for them. And so I was disappointed that Corbin was so quick to throw it out the window.
Me too.
But again, I wasn't surprised by it. And I feel like Kenzie, had she not seen that, would have actually maybe stuck around for him.
Yeah, I honestly was a little bit surprised. I thought they would somehow make it work.
Yeah.
So I thought he was more into her than he actually was, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I
agree.
Let's talk about Kenzie. When she first walked into the villa, villa is correct. Oh my gosh. Speaking of present mind, here I am. When she first walked in, I thought she's the perfect 90s playmate.
Yes. She did. She just immediately, I was thinking Olivia Newton-John or like, what is her name? Not Goldie Hawn, Farrah Fawcett, like she had that feathered hair.
Yeah.
And I thought her attitude and her bubbliness I really liked it. I actually really liked Kenzie.
I thought she could have also been a Playboy bunny. I don't know, like, the blonde and the boobs. And she was a little bit like, I don't know if it's a role she plays, but at first she came across a little dumb almost. I'm sorry to say that, so it's like the perfect Playboy bunny.
Yeah, I bet she does do Playboy at some point. She should.
She should. She has the body for it. She was gorgeous. But
The
she
clan.
had to grow on me a little bit. And I don't know if she succeeded 100%. She definitely grew a little bit, but there's still something about her that I don't know. I would not be friends with her in real life, I think.
Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. And she was always in a love triangle. How did she always end up in a love triangle?
That I did find very interesting. And she tended to like want the love triangle, which that says to me insecurity. Like you're not willing to open up enough. Look at my cat. Not willing to open up enough with somebody to like fully. And I think she got hurt. I think she got hurt with Corbin and Zach, and so she just was like, well, I'll
Yeah.
just play the game.
Yeah. And you said it earlier. She actually didn't do anything wrong. She did exactly what she's supposed to do. And honestly, what all the boys do, just because she's a woman, right, she got hate for it.
Well, and then when, Dylan's mom came at the end, you could tell that Dylan was really fishing for his mom to like call Kenzie out and say what she had done was inappropriate. Yeah. And his mom was like, no, she's fine. Dylan, ew. Hate him.
Why?
He just was such a wet blanket, and I did not appreciate that he was trying to use all of the stuff on Kenzie that had already been used.
Yeah.
Like, get over it, or just walk away. I did not like Dylan. I hope that she ditches him.
See, I feel what you're saying. I also thought he was a wet blanket. He was another one where I was like, is he straight? Is he bi? Is he gay? Like, what's going? Like, he didn't seem like a manly man. I'm sorry to say that. That's very judgy, but here we are, judgy bitch pod.
Right. I'm all for a guy having emotions. And the first time that he got emotional, I was like, that's sweet.
Yeah.
But that it's when people just keep doing the same thing over and over that I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah. I also don't think that she's that much into him.
No, I think she just knew she couldn't, like, there was nothing else for her to do. She couldn't actually find a connection anymore unless it was with him. The public said they didn't like her. Her fellow Islanders said they didn't like her. She just had to like put herself in a box. And I feel sad for her in that way. I really loved her, what her dad said to her in the video message.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Like, you know what? Good for her. Like, she has a dad that actually built her up and built up her confidence and told her she was great for her life. And now she believes that. Good for her.
Yeah. I loved her dad. That was awesome. I honestly saw her more with Gal, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I guess. But like, even that I wouldn't have thought would run the test of time. The only one that she actually had real feelings for was Corbin.
Yeah, that's a good point. Very good point.
Which is sad.
Yeah. Talked about Dylan. Let's get into Bryce and Trinity. Did you think they were going to win?
No. Well, by the end, yes. I think, like, in the beginning, they were such a friendship couple. They seemed like they just kind of kept picking each other by default. They weren't that into each other, but they really did blossom into something great. And seeing both of their reactions in Casa Amor is what won them the whole thing. I mean, seeing him run to her was so heartwarming. That is why I watched this show.
Yeah.
It's like the best thing. And you know what? And he never even got upset with her that she was making out with that guy for a day or so.
Yeah.
He was very understanding. He was like, yeah, you needed to explore. You figured out that it was me. You slept outside the rest of the nights. We're together now. And then he made her his girlfriend.
Yeah.
That is what the show is for. I love
100%.
them in the end. I think they should have won. I think there's some of the few winners that really will actually become the most famous from their season. I think Carla and Anaya will also get a lot of publicity, but usually it's like there's the winners and then the second place people are the ones that actually kind of pop afterwards. I think that Trinity and Bryce, I'm like, I hope they stay together. I love them. And have you listened to his music?
No, I didn't know you had music.
Okay. It is good. It is like he's a DJ. It's very kind of like chill house music. I put it on and was vibing in the car.
Nice.
Like, I want to see Trinity front row or behind the DJ booth in like her hot outfit with him.
Yeah.
Love them together. I hope it works out. She's really young, like a 21-year-old. Is it ever going to work out with a 21-year-old?
Who knows? Yeah.
But I do love them together.
They definitely grew on me, I will say. Yeah. Do you know who Mark Owen is? Do you know the band Take That? That's the band that Robbie Williams came from.
Oh, yes. Okay.
UK pop band. They were huge in the 90s. They were one of the first boy groups actually in the 90s. And one of the other singers is Mark Owen. And when Bryce came onto my screen, I was like, what is Mark Owen doing here? He reminded me so much of it. But anyways, I questioned for the longest time if they're serious with each other. I don't know. I just felt like that just for the show and, they're just trying to be together. But then towards the end, when they actually became boyfriend and girlfriend, I was like, okay, now I start seeing it.
I think he had the way that he had the conviction to commit to her when he had the feelings. I'm actually more suspect that his and Zach's relationship won't last as long because Bryce really demonstrated his maturity and his ability to grow and change with somebody and make a decision. And I think he and Zach just adore each other and have such a bromance, and that's great. And I think Bryce really leaned on Zach in the beginning. Yeah. But then he was like, no, this is my girl. Like if he had to choose, he would choose Trinity.
Yeah.
If Zach had to choose between Bryce and Kata, Zach would choose Bryce.
Interesting take. I love that. You know what? I also got a lot of Olandria vibes from Bryce and Trinity.
Yeah, I did too, but I did not, and I still don't think Nick and Olandria are in a legitimate relationship. I never saw the vibes. Everybody was shipping them, but I felt like was such an opportunist thing. Trinity and Bryce, I really do feel the love from them.
And that's why you're my girl. I 100% agree with you. Like Nick and Olandria, I still don't believe that they have actual feelings for each other. It's just PR. And that's why at the beginning with Bryce and Trinity, I felt the same way. And that's why I got such strong Nick and Olandria vibes from them.
Yeah. I think that the public was trying to push them in a similar way, truly. Because Trinity quickly became the people's princess. I think personality wise, I align Anaya and Olandria a little bit more closely. Because they were Olandria was really a slow burn the way that Anaya is. She's not as wild and ready to party. Where Trinity's she will beat your ass. She almost came for TT. I would not mess with Trinity, and also I would love to party with Trinity.
100%. I think she's a really funny girl. But you know what? The whole friendship of Trinity, Anaya, and Melanie reminded me so much of the friendship from 2 seasons ago. Who was it? Leah and Serena?
Oh, Leah, Serena, and Janae. Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
That was cute.
Right? It reminded me so much. It was like the same dynamic almost, the same combination. And yeah. And anyways,
that was cute.
You mentioned the bromance of Zach and Bryce. When they did the boxer shorts dick check, I almost fell off my couch.
Well, there was already rumors spreading, and the bromance was going a little hard. Now, in college, I had friends in frats and like they did act like that. But there was definitely, there was a couple moments where I was like, I actually feel like Bryce is looking at Zach romantically.
Yeah.
And I was like, I kind of bought into it for a minute. I was like, I would love to see a bisexual guy on this show. And that would be huge for the show. We've seen bisexual girls. We saw Cassie partner with a woman. I would love to see that happen again, truly.
Yeah.
There were some rumors with Melanie and Anaya too, and I kind of loved that. But yeah, that was funny. That was funny. I think they played into it for sure.
They did. But I feel like you. I was waiting for them to end up in a couple.
Yeah, I would love that.
Me too. Oh my God, I would have died.
I like that. That would be the most groundbreaking thing, which is crazy. Like nobody cares if people are gay or bi anymore, but I think that men still there's still so much more of a stigma around bisexuality with men specifically.
Yeah.
That would be a huge deal to happen on the island, and I would love to see it.
Me too. And I will tell you, I take Peanut and Pixie almost every day to a doggy park. We have like a little doggy park community, and there's a gay couple with a dog, obviously too, and they don't watch Love Island, but they knew about this bromance. They were bringing it up in the doggy park, and they were like, "Melli, are you watching this? What's going on? Like, why is there dick check? Are they a couple?"
It was giving heated rivalry.
Yeah. Yeah. Fun. And then Bryce and Trinity went on their first date, and I was melting when they turned out to be matching in pink, sponsored by Megan. Like, what are the odds?
I mean, I just think that tells you they really were on the same wavelength, and they grew in relationship at the same speed. They truly are just like a match. It took them both the same amount of time to realize I like this person. And I like, truly, that's how it should be. Like, it should be easy. It should be easy. And like, they had tests and they came back to each other. And then when they knew, they knew. And like, that's the example, y'all.
Yeah. But also, as you said earlier, that he wasn't jealous that she explored and stuff, he handled it so gracefully. And I love that.
Yeah. Granted, he's 30.
Yeah. But still,
prefrontal cortex is solid.
How old is Zach? Do you know?
So I don't remember. I think he's like 26, maybe.
Okay. Because he was very jealous, but we get into that.
Yes.
But I want to ask you one more thing. They had their first date, and I think as a viewer, it was obvious that something's going to happen on that date, that they're going to close it off or whatever. And then fucking Corbin and Pramita, while they're on the date, closing it off and stealing their thunder. Did you feel the same way?
No, because I didn't. I think this potentially is kind of this generational divide thing where I don't understand I can understand the difference of closing it off in the villa.
Yeah.
Because we are exclusively dating boyfriend, girlfriend. Again, I know we're going to get into Zach and Kata, but like, I don't get the difference between we are exclusive and we are boyfriend, girlfriend. Those are the same thing to me. But we close it off in the villa. I'm just like, yawn. Yeah, okay. There's not even going to be any more bombshells. Like,
right. Like, what are you closing it off for? There's nobody else coming in.
Yeah. So I don't even remember that. I didn't even pick up on it.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's do a little sideway into Casa Amor for a second. What was your thoughts?
First of all,
I agree with that one.
loved that they used the heart rate challenge to kick off Casa Amor.
Yeah.
Even though we never even like actually heard about heart rates. Like,
No.
that never came up. Such a brilliant way to rile everybody up, though, and to show the girls, hey, this is what's happening. Like, you need to, like, don't just be sticking with your man because you think he's going to stick with you. I thought it was a brilliant production choice. It was absolutely like violent. It was insane. It was amazing television. However, my one comment is that it really positioned the Casa Amor girls as like strippers.
Yeah.
It really positioned them in this like only sexual light from the very beginning. And as a viewer, I was like, that's kind of not fair. I'm not going to like any of these girls.
Right. That's a good point.
You
Yeah.
know? So, yeah, I thought I loved it, but I also was like, sucks for them. It seemed like a really unfair advantage to give the Villa girls.
Yeah. That's a very good point. How do you think would it have been different if the girls got the boys and the Islanders were to watch that?
I think it would have been just way more awkward and cringy, and the guys, I don't know. I don't think that we would have seen the kind of reactions that we got out of it. Like, we needed the girls get mad.
Yeah.
And I think the girls, if we flipped it, would have been a lot more like, ew, respectful, like, so I don't think it would have played quite the same.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, and then they brought people back to the villa.
Yes.
What was your thought?
Man,
That's
I remember
more maybe.
they definitely put them in the order, so you kind of knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Again, like the Bryson Trinity thing was just the sweetest reunion you could hope for.
Yeah.
I was so annoyed that Melanie didn't bring somebody back. I appreciate that Melanie and Anaya were kind of like, even if he brings somebody back, I'm going to like stand on my values.
Yeah.
Fine. But Melanie really had an opportunity there, and I'm sad. I'm sad for her. I'm still sad for her.
Yeah.
And Anaya too. It was like, how do you not see that this other man is better for you? But yeah, I mean, it was a great level of drama.
Yes. I think Anaya knew that Carl was better for her, but as you said, her values and her loyalty didn't allow her to make that decision.
Yeah, just being with somebody for longer does not mean that you should stay with them.
Yeah. And then there was the TT moment when she walked into the villa and, she exchanged words with Trinity.
I gotta admit though, if I'm her, like, I'd probably do the same thing. Like, I'd want to stand up for myself, stand by my man. I don't really blame her at all. And she redeemed herself so much with the girls over the weeks that when we saw it, I was like, oh, that's not going to go well.
Yeah. I must admit, the only thing my algorithm during that time showed me was the resurfaced allegations about TT. So did you hear about that? There was, let me read this. 2018 court documents surfaced in which a then 16-year-old girl accused TT of assault and threatening to shoot her over a dispute involving an ex-boyfriend. A temporary restraining order was granted, but the case was later dismissed and no criminal charges were filed. And I had just heard rumors about it. So I was biased when TT walked into the villa and then she started exchanging those strong words with Trinity. I was like, oh, she's ghetto.
I would have been scared of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, like, throughout the end of the season, I don't know if she changed or if she just was more relaxed and was able to show her true colors. She kind of grew on me a little bit. She became a girl's girl.
Well, and I think, I think she needed for the girls to say, hey, we know it's not you. We're upset with him. But her tendency is defensive and aggressive. And like, if I were KC in that situation, I would be so humiliated that like I wasn't standing up for myself and that my new girlfriend is like defending me.
Yeah.
But, they ended up being one of the stronger couples. So good for them.
Good for them. But also KC, he was so resentful towards Anaya for not standing behind the door the very first game before anybody knew each other. Like, how can you be resentful for this? They didn't know you. And as she then later said, when I had an actual choice after I got to know you, I picked you every single time. But I think
Right.
his ego was so hurt from that moment that he couldn't let go.
No, he couldn't let go. There he was really exhibiting some behavior that I find scary in the way that he was talking about her and having expectations of like where she would be with him romantically. But then what he was showing her and how he was telling her like you are the epitome of a black woman, like he was saying all the right things,
Yeah,
but he was scary.
he was. And you said earlier you at first liked him. What did you like about him at first?
I think I was just fooled by him. That speech that he gave Anaya where he was like, "You are what a black woman should be," I thought was really heartwarming, and
Yeah.
I would have fallen for it.
Yeah, I think I would have too. But from the very get-go, he chose the plan thing and that's fine. You can choose whatever. But I don't know. There was just some vibe about him where I was like, I don't trust this guy. I don't know. I didn't like him and Anaya together because I think she deserves better, even before
Well,
it hit the fan.
let's trust your radar more than mine about first impression because
I've
I was
also
wrong.
I've also been single for 4 years, so there's that. It's funny. Let's move on to Zach and Kada.
Okay.
Thoughts on Zach?
Again, this is probably my issue. I liked him in the beginning. I thought he was really attractive. I I liked him.
Yeah.
And just over time with Kada, there were so many passive aggressive moments,
Hmm.
e- especially when they went to the hideaway and him saying like, "So, can I still talk to other girls?" Like he just really was trying to dig and I just don't find that to be genuine. I feel a lot of insecurity from him and I don't trust him.
Interesting. I thought he would have been the most your type because he's this tall,
I
dark guy, goofy.
I think physically
Yeah,
he really is. I did find him to be the most attractive
I
early
figured
on.
that. Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not off.
Totally.
What do you think is harder, him or his brother?
Especially now, I think his brother.
Yeah, I agree.
But also like to go along with my type, his brother is a little bit more brooding and like serious looking, which I also like.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that totally. I agree with everything you just said about him, especially after the hideaway. That was just a shitty comment he shouldn't have made. But towards the end of the season, he kind of grew on me. I feel like they grew together as a couple a little bit better. I don't know, but maybe
I
I'm
felt
wrong.
the opposite. I was so annoyed by the end and he like the way that especially right before Casa Amor, they were like really going at each other's throats and he was just using a lot of his like power to make her feel less than
Yeah. Mm,
and then including the whole closed off conversation.
yeah, that didn't make sense to you.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally hear. I didn't like the jealousy part that they both displayed.
Yeah.
Although I'm a
I
jealous person too. Like it really depends on the partner, right? If the partner is, you have a feeling they're hiding something from you, of course I'll be jealous. If I feel like they put the cards on the table, there's nothing to be jealous about?
right. Right. I just
Yeah.
think he's the type of person to hold things over your head
Yeah, for sure.
long as it's convenient for him.
Yeah, for sure. Kata on the other side was one of the hottest girls in there. Don't you agree?
She is one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life.
She had legs for days. Like they just don't stop.
Her legs, her eyes, like one thing I do wish is that she had allowed us to see her natural hair at a certain point. Like, obviously she had extensions and stuff too, but I kind of just felt for her. I was like, man, to have to straighten your hair that intensely in this humidity all the
Yeah.
time, girl, just let it fly,
Yeah.
But yeah, she's just one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. And I like her abrasive personality. I like her very like East Coast
Yes.
accent. I think I really like Kata. And I still like Kata even though I feel like her choice in men is meh.
Questionable.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I really liked her too. And, I identify as a Jersey girl, so New Hampshire is not too far off. So I loved her so much. But the exclusive discussion made me question a little bit too. I kind of see what she
Yeah.
was saying, that she wants to date outside the villa and see if they still have this strong connection. I kind of get that, right?
Fine. But
And they
you
wanted
can't
to give it a
expect
title.
people to be excited for you then.
Yeah, but they wanted to give it a title in the villa and they just didn't really not know what to pick.
I think that's what bothered me was like, we aren't actually serious about each other. We're not together, but we want everybody to be excited for us as though we are making a commitment. And it's like, but you're not.
Yeah. Do you
So
think,
no,
yeah, especially with him being from England, they also have the distance, right?
right.
Do you think they're
It would
going to stay?
have been fine. No, I don't see, I
I
don't
don't,
see it.
I wish it for them, but I don't see that either. And honestly, I think it's a nice chapter for each of them in their book, but I think they each can have better partners. I don't think they're a perfect match.
Yeah, I don't think they're perfect.
Yeah. But they
I
were fun
wish,
to watch.
I simply wish that Kata had given Corbin a chance. I wish that Kata had given even Bryce a chance in the beginning, Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad that didn't happen, but she never once gave anybody a chance except Zach.
Yeah. Bryce more
And
than Corbin, I think. Corbin's such a fuckboy. I don't wish him on anybody, to be honest.
no, I agree. I think I just like, that's what I'm saying. I kind of feel like she's more committed than Zach is, but she's trying to play it off like she's not.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Ready for the big one. Melanie and Sincere. Let's
Oh,
start with Melanie. And before you say anything, I have to admit to you that Melly is actually short for Melanie. And I hear so many people, even in After Sun, they said it, weren't we all a Melanie at some point in our life? And I'm like, yes.
yeah, I really truly am.
Let me hear your
I
thoughts.
Well, we learned like through halfway through the season that she had actually, I don't even know if they mentioned it on the show, but that she had lost a significant amount of weight.
I didn't know that. Okay.
And I thought that was actually a pretty important piece of information to just like kind of get her psyche
Yeah.
of being thin suddenly, but like she probably had some insecurity about her looks and things. Gorgeous. She's
Yeah.
just gorgeous. And I think, again, I was like, I was a little worried about her when she was kind of freaking out and like doing the gimme 10, gimme 10. Which also is actually a pretty responsible way to manage your emotions. So in
Yeah.
hindsight,
Yeah.
not a big deal. But I think she's got a bit of a victim complex.
Mm.
Continue putting herself in this situation and picking this person. I think she actually kind of likes the attention that she gets when she gets hurt.
Molly bringing the tea.
Especially, like, I think she fully expected Sincere to bring somebody back.
Yeah.
And when he didn't, I think she was actually more surprised. And that made it harder for her to have her victim moment.
Yeah.
But she's keeping that going by staying with him, no matter like his own father
Right?
You're sure all of America, every brand in America, even Anaya, who was Team Sincere, like changed her tune after she realized like what she was saying to her. So I like that's a person that if they were in my life, I'd be like, you're gonna do what you're gonna do, but like I'm sick of hearing about it, and like don't expect me to pick up the pieces.
Yeah. But let's talk about this for a second. I felt too, before Family Day, right? I
Yeah.
felt too that Melanie's friends in the villa did not advise her correctly. They were so
100%.
sugarcoating it, and they were like, yeah, do it. You got to follow your heart. When has following your heart ever done you any favors? Honestly.
Not for her.
Right?
Girl, turn that off.
Yeah, you cannot turn off your head. You have to listen to your gut. You cannot always follow your heart. That doesn't do you any well. But
Yeah.
also, I feel like Anaya needed to hear from her family that she wasn't being a good friend, and that's why she said it after Family Day. But just for a hot second, because 5 minutes later she turned back to what she was saying before. I don't know if she was just trying to be a supportive friend, or if because she was friends with Sincere too, she didn't have the balls to tell her he's shit for you. Leave him.
So this is where like there's such a similar situation that happened in Love Island UK this season, and the way that the girls supported the victim girl was so different.
Exactly.
And if we look at UK, I'm going to make you watch it.
I will.
If we look at UK, they were like, if you go back to this man, I'm going to be mad at you. Now, even still, I think she's ended up going back to that man, but he really pulled out all the stops and he said sorry to everybody and made it public. And like, he's really gone a long way in proving himself,
Yeah.
where Satir didn't do that or was never forced to. But the girls were very honest with her, and in a way that the US girls, I think, were being very like people pleasing and
Yeah.
just like, they were like, well, my man is friends with him, so I don't want to say anything bad about him. And
Yeah.
like, I was really disappointed in that.
Yeah. But let's talk about this too for a second. The man enabling and not ever checking him, saying anything and just continue being friends with him. That's like real life. My ex-husband was abusive to me. They all stuck with him and he couldn't do anything wrong in their eyes. Like, what?
Ew. Ew.
You know?
Ew. Yeah, I do not.
And his
This
poor dad had to fly around the world 26 hours or whatever to check him because none of the dudes in there were able to do it.
that was insane. I'm glad his dad said that stuff. I think now we're kind of seeing that his family also says a bunch of terrible things about Anaya and about Melanie, but I did appreciate that. But it just doesn't seem like it's clicking with the people it needs to click with, which is Sincere and Melanie.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No. Yeah. I'm
So
just, what a disappointing situation.
very disappointing. I don't know who I would have liked seeing her with. Maybe Sean, Melanie and Sean would have
I
been.
think that would have been good for her, but yeah, I don't think she's in the
No.
place in life to be looking at what's good for her.
Also, she's from the DR, and I went 3 times already on vacation in the DR with my best friend. I love the DR. So Melanie could do no wrong in my book besides she's repeating my history of not leaving a toxic guy.
Right. You're like, don't let me save you from my
I
own.
know. I know we're sharing a name, but we don't have to share our dating history. You mentioned the brands, and I know on After Sun they said they didn't like it. I lived for it. I
I loved it.
absolutely loved it. I saw this post. I have to read this to you. I don't know if it was the first one, but for me, it was the first one I saw, and it was from JetBlue. I don't know if you
Yeah.
saw that. And it says, "Dear Melanie, we will send you on a vacation if you leave that man. Sincerely, JetBlue." And I was dying. I loved it.
Brilliant viral marketing. It's for all the brands to hop on. Again, I get it that you don't like hearing that, and it is your choice ultimately, but like, come on. If
She's
the
going to
world
use that to her advantage. She's going to get some brand deals with those brands. 100%.
that's going to take you way farther in life than this man.
Absolutely. I have to read some more to you just because I loved it so much. I lived with it. So some other brands commented under the JetBlue post that I saw, and there was Dokalux. Dokalux goes, "Dear Melanie, we know a thing or two about dumping what isn't serving you." And
So
then there
good.
was Kiss Nails. "Dear Melanie, what she said, plus nails, please. Sincerely, Kiss Nails." I loved it. I have one more. Dr. Schultz. "We're the support that she needs to walk away."
See,
But
this
the
is what I
funniest comment was Bravo Andy. You know, Andy Cohen.
love.
He was the first comment under the JetBlue thing, actually. And he said, "OMG, I thought this was addressed to Melania and it seemed so ... bold." I was dead.
That's funny. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. I don't know. I got a kick out of it. I could have, watched or read those comments like for days. I loved it so much.
Yeah, I thought it was great. And you
Yeah,
know what? If everybody in the world is telling you something, you are the fool for not listening.
I know. But, I've been in her shoes and you have to come to that point on your own. Otherwise, you will always question what could have been and was that the right decision, So I kind of understand.
No, I feel for her. I really feel for her. It's just, again, it's like, if you're going to put yourself in this situation time after time, like, it would be hard to support that. It would be really
Yeah.
hard to support that as a
Yeah.
friend.
That's very true. That's very true. Let's
If I
talk
put
about,
now, I'd be like, get out of there.
yeah, 100%. What was really hard to watch for me was movie night. How did you feel?
Um, nothing in movie night surprised me, but I think when they put all of it together, it did really show me that Sincere was just trying to have his cake and eat it too, and
Mhm.
really had no idea how to actually like f- say what he truly wanted or care about others' feelings. And same with KC. I mean, seeing all of the things KC said back to back to back, I was like, yee,
Yeah.
that is a scary person.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I think, I don't know, this whole season kind of started going downhill for me after that.
Yeah. But honestly, in Sincere's case, right? He was probably moving in the villa how he moves outside the villa. He's the kind of like, grass is greener type of person.
Yeah.
The next shiny best thing is always catching his attention, but he doesn't get caught in real life. Here it is on
Right.
camera and they showed it to him. And, his dad flew around the world to check him. And, like, I'm not going to say I felt bad for him because he definitely made his bed and he had to lay in it. But that must have been an uncomfortable situation to see yourself move this way. He wasn't probably even aware of it.
Well, and we're kind of hearing him say that he has grown from it and that that's not the person he wants to be. And so now it's just up to him to really like walk the walk and prove that.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to get the Beyond the Villa deal? Do you think we're going to see that?
I don't, I don't think it would be very well watched, to be honest.
Yeah. I haven't even
I don't,
watched season 2,
uh,
to be honest. I stopped after season 1.
yeah, I don't see that happening for this group.
Yeah, same. I agree. Anaya and Carl,
Yes.
they were my favorite a little bit. I don't know. I mean, they came so late together. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
I really, he could have been a contestant on The Bachelorette. He could have been a contestant
Ooh,
on like some more grown dating shows. I actually think it was a strange casting. Because he's just not like he isn't an F boy. Like he's
yeah.
more mature.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'm hopeful about them. I think like I find him very charming and attractive, and I hope that Anaya, and I think he really does care for Anaya. I think Anaya is almost the opposite of Melanie, where she's like, okay, I've heard of what everybody's saying, so I'm going to lean into that as hard as I possibly can. So I just kind of am a little hesitant to trust their connection for real. Because I just think that Anaya is impressionable and that she was like, oh, everybody agrees that this is the guy for me. Okay. By the
Molly. You're bringing the opinions today.
end.
Interesting.
But I hope it's real. I hope it's real for them both.
Yeah.
They really could be very good together.
Yeah, I agree. It was a little boring almost, right? They were so good together. There was no drama anymore.
But let's be real. Like, I love Anaya, but she's boring.
Yeah. No, I
Like,
agree. I agree. And let me ask you this. Do you think they brought him back because that's what America wanted to see? Or was this always the plan anyways in the script? We're going to bring them back.
No, I think it was purely at the request of America.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. I think otherwise they would, if it had been somebody else in the similar situation,
Yeah.
they just like dumped them from the island.
Yeah.
She kind of was, she was giving like front runner energy and they wanted to keep her in. And the only way that they could do that was with
Yeah.
Carl.
And they probably see the ratings and everything, you know. So yeah, I agree. I want to go back to KC for a moment because him and Anaya had this great chat after movie night. And I feel like both of them moved very gracefully and had a very adult conversation. Do you feel the same way?
Totally. And I think that's a testament to, you know, Anaya did obviously have like a huge emotional reaction to him bringing PT back, but she is a very poised, graceful, demure person.
Yeah.
And I think like she's always going to be the bigger person
Yeah.
in every situation.
Yeah, I'm going to admit, I think she was my favorite. I don't know. I go back and forth a little bit because I also really like Melanie just because I probably relate to her the most of the shit I've been through. And I've, done the same stupid decisions as she has, but
I
I
think
think,
they'd both be great friends and
you
like,
know,
but in different ways. Like Melanie was a great friend to people and
yeah,
the way that she would talk to the other women, I was like, that's great advice. Now just look in the mirror and say it to yourself.
right.
Whereas like Anaya was kind of in some ways the opposite, where she was kind of giving a little people pleasing advice, but she has the propensity to change. And so like I'd be friends with both of them. I think they'd both be great friends.
Yeah. As I said earlier, I really like the trio of them with Trinity, the three together. I really enjoyed watching that.
Yeah, I did too. And I think like, and Kata, I guess like it was kind of like the quad with Kata
Yeah.
involved. Yeah, I mean, I think they were really good friends with each other. I would be friends with any of those girls.
Yeah.
I like Kenzie is one that I'd be like,
Careful.
come for my man.
Right. Exactly.
But I love you.
Yeah.
But yeah, they all seem like really lovely, lovely girls. I think for me, it would just be tough to be friends with Melanie because it's tough to see somebody putting themselves in bad situations.
Right. Yeah. But I will also say it was the ideal finale for me. Those four couples towards the end of the season are the four that I wanted to see in the finale.
I kind of agree. I think I actually would have put Kenzie in there just because I think I appreciated her throughout and I thought she brought a lot to the show. Like Zach and Kata I could have just done without, to be honest, at the end. Like I liked it a lot, but I was just bored of them. But yeah, I overall agree. I think they were the only two that I would have switched.
Yeah. Okay. I understand. I see that.
Well, and honestly, I would not have put Melanie and Sincere in there.
That's a big question mark, right? Like that's really debatable.
Yeah, I just cannot endorse that relationship.
Yeah, but they did kind of carry the whole season.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you're right. To be fair, like I think that they did, but I could not when I voted on that one, and I was like, I just cannot click on them as a
Yeah.
couple.
No, I would have not voted for them either. And I still
Yeah.
don't think they're going to make it. And I hope, it sounds mean, but I hope they don't make it because I think this is a great part of her life where she learns lessons and then she hopefully finds a better match for herself,
Right. Right.
you know?
I don't think that she's going to be able to trust him, and I don't think he deserves her trust. I hope that he learns from this and that whoever he's with in the future, he's like, I will never be that person again. But it was built on a foundation of toxicity that it's not about overcoming, it's about
Yeah.
just, there's no foundation there.
Yeah. I honestly don't see him ever changing. I think he's one of those guys that will get married one day, but he'll be stepping out of the marriage left and right until they get divorced. And I mean, I wish him better, but that's just what I think.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah. I want to talk to you about After Sun for a
Okay.
moment. I want to hear your feelings about Ciara and Taffy.
Yeah. I really loved them. This was probably the most After Suns that I watched. I didn't watch all of them.
Mhm.
I thought that Teffy and Sierra's dynamic was really fun and they
Mhm.
really riffed on each other well. Sierra is my girl,
Yeah.
like we're summer house girlies, but she kind of tried she brought too much of the baggage in
Yeah.
at times.
Okay. Yeah.
Where like, listen, Ariana Madix got on Love Island in the same way.
Yeah.
And I think she made one comment that was like kind of about Tom Sandoval the first time she hosted.
Yeah.
Sierra is just clearly still
Yeah.
hurting.
Hurt. Yeah. Absolutely. I
And just
felt,
people's romantic connections. Like if you hate men that much right now, it's gonna be tough for you to talk about
yeah.
romantic connections.
Yeah. And here I am, right?
You know?
I felt a little different about you. First of all, I don't know who Teffy is. And the first
Oh,
episode, I'm like, who is it? I felt in the first episode they two had together, there was no vibe. They were competing for spotlight. And I hated that somebody who I don't even know, who are you? You're acting weird, is taking away from Ciara's thunder, which she earned this spot there, so I was like, get her off my screen. Who's this Teffy woman? Then later on, after the first episode of After Sun, I thought to myself, I wonder if Ciara said something to the producers, because then in the second episode, Teffy was way more mute and let Ciara say more. But I just don't see them being friends. They are so different. And then
really?
the more I watched them, the more I thought, they would have been great individually, each of them. I
Yeah.
really liked the episode where Ciara was on the screen and Teffy had to lead a little more. But when Ciara was there, I wish I could have just seen Ciara and get Teffy out. So I think individually they would have been great. I did not like them together. No. Oh,
I don't know. I didn't mind it. And I did know Teffy beforehand, so maybe I just liked her also.
yeah.
But it was such a different format and I love Maura Higgins from last time, but Maura was very much like a cut and dry host. She wasn't really interjecting her own opinions. I think
Yeah.
it was jarring to have these two people be so open format and just like riffing with each other. And also, I don't know, did you see their TikToks together and stuff? Like I
No,
thought they like totally loved each other.
I did not. I thought I honestly thought they're not friends outside of this.
Oh my gosh. See, I thought man, I totally vibed with the opposite.
Interesting. Well, that's fine. And last topic, I know we're over time already. Last topic, reunion. We said it
Yeah.
earlier. They're not going to air it until August 31st. What the heck? As we said, they should have won an Emmy for turning around each episode so quickly. But when it comes to the reunion, they take their sweet time. Why?
That. I actually don't mind that specifically for this show because I do want them to have a little bit of time outside of the villa to figure out if they like each other. And I want people to break up, and I want people to like have the space and really see what's going on, because they were in such a bubble
Yeah.
during the season. So I'm okay with it, giving it a little bit of time. I honestly like don't really care about a reunion. Again, it's like that is not the purpose of this show for me. Like, I like the episodes 3 through 49, and like that's what it is for me. It's all the drama in between.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'll watch it, but I don't really care about it at all.
That's a good point, to see if they're still together by that point. I was just thinking from my point of view, right? By end of August, I have forgotten the season. I've forgotten the names. I've forgotten what happened. I see that they want to give the Islanders some time to watch it themselves, so they know what was shown and how it came across, so they can defend themselves. But then I also heard that Andy Cohen is once again hosting together with Ariana. And I think we said it last year. Why is she not allowed to host it on herself? She's up for a
Yeah.
fucking Emmy. Like, why does she need Andy there? What does Andy have to do with Love Island? Get him out.
This is just another way where I feel like Love Island UK kind of has it figured out. I actually don't think they do reunions. But they bring former cast members on to like After Sun, and
Yeah.
you kind of get to watch them that way. So you get to follow along a little bit, but I don't think they don't treat it quite like a normal reality show the way that we do in the
Yeah.
US. And I appreciate that. Like it is this 6 to 8 weeks of time, and then after that, and a lot of times they'll actually give just individual couples their own show rather than like a Beyond the Villa thing,
Yeah.
which there was a couple from UK that had like 4 seasons of a show, and there's other couples that we still follow from like 10 years ago. So I think they just have the format a little bit better figured out.
Mm.
Granted, literally everybody in the UK is more mature than literally everybody in the US. So it just is better.
Yeah.
Better. I can't wait for you to watch.
I will watch. I will get on it right now so we can have another episode on this. But yeah.
And this season of Love Island UK is great. And there's 2 additional weeks.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
It's so much better. I cannot wait for you to see it. Ugh. The only problem that I have is that I can't vote for it, because they do delay it. It's less delayed, but they delay it by at least a few more days in the US. So like we get spoilers here. So you have to be careful.
Oh, that's interesting. Molly, before we wrap up here, is there anything we haven't addressed you want to say to this season? Any more strong opinions you want to bring here to the Judgy Bitch Pod?
I just would like to stop seeing 21 and 22-year-olds. This was by far the most humiliated I felt to be an American. They were embarrassing.
Yeah.
They were embarrassing just in how they dealt with things, and their immaturity and complete inability to communicate made me concerned for our youth.
Okay. Love it.
And I will watch it again next year.
Yes, we will. Molly, absolutely love you. You were on fire today. You brought some really cool opinions. But you know what? We haven't updated the Bitch Besties in a while, what you are working on. So please take the floor, tell everybody what they can expect from you, where they can find you, where they can book your services, and what it is you're actually doing and working on.
I mean, speaking of being on fire, it's probably because Mars is making a square to my sun right now. And speaking of astrology, I have finally launched Astro Zeta. It is my astrology app that really was born out of my frustration about wanting to just understand astrology based on your own natal placements and what the sky is doing to your chart today. So I have built this app and it is so much fun. I use it every day. You can see every single aspect and placement, take little quizzes to like beef up your understanding of astrology, learn from it, get an email digest, and even save transits to your calendar. So it is at astrozeta.com. That's Astro, SETTA. heartbreak.com. And it's free right now because it's in beta testing. And so if you get in right now, you can lock in at a lower price when I do eventually launch it on the App Store. So make sure to check it out. Other than that, I'm working on apps and things all the time, but that is kind of my main priority right now. So you can find it at my link bio on TikTok too at Her Sharpness.
Yes, I love that, Theo. And, I just know I'm going to love it, as I loved all your previous projects. Love it so much. Bitch Besties, go and follow Molly at Her Sharpness on TikTok. Find the link in her bio. Go and check out AstroZeta and let me know what you think. Please also tell everybody about this podcast. Share it with all your friends and your family and everybody. And like Oprah says on her podcast right now, please don't forget to subscribe. And it doesn't cost you anything. It just gives you a notification when the new episode drops. Thank you so much for listening. Molly, thank you so much for coming on. I love you guys. See you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Bitch Besties, for listening. Make sure to follow us at the Judgy Bitch Pod. And hey, spread the word. Tell your friends, your ex, your dog walker. We'd love their support. Want to be part of the show? DM us your feedback, hot takes, or unapologetic opinions. We just might read them on air. And don't forget to follow, rate, and review the pod. See you next week. Cheers, bitches.